Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your sources, cut through all the noise, and really pull out those essential bits of knowledge,
Right.
insights. Our whole goal is to give you those aha moments, but without you feeling overwhelmed by like tons of information. So today we're diving into something, well, it sounds simple maybe, but it's got this incredibly profound impact. We're talking about a core belief you hold about yourself. Just one belief. And our source material for this one, it comes straight from the introduction of a, frankly, really significant book in psychology, a game changer for how we think about potential.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is how this whole thing started, the origin story. The author wasn't just, thinking this up in isolation. It was actually their students. They saw the research, saw what it could do, and basically pushed the author saying, you have to write this down. They
Mhm.
wanted it out there so like everyone could use it to make their lives better. So it wasn't just academic work. It really became this personal mission to help unlock people's potential.
That's such a great backstory, isn't it? It tells you right off the bat, this isn't just theory. It's got real legs, real world use. So for this deep dive, our mission, our focus, is exploring how this single, seemingly simple belief, oh, it's not simple at all in its effects. The author says it permeates every part of your life. Think about that. Permeates everything. It shapes so much of what we might just call personality. And maybe most importantly, it can seriously hold us back, keep us from reaching what we're truly capable of. Let's get into this.
Okay, so when we talk about this belief, the author uses a specific term, mindset.
Hmm.
And let's be clear, this isn't just, think positive thoughts, it goes deeper. It's all about your fundamental belief about where your intelligence and your abilities actually come from. Like, do you believe deep down that your talents, your smarts, they're just fixed, set in stone, you're born with them, and that's that? Or do you believe that these qualities can be developed, that you can grow them through dedication, hard work, learning from mistakes? That difference, fixed versus growth, that's the absolute core of it all.
Right, that fixed versus growth idea. That's the hinge, isn't it? And it's kind of wild to think that so much of what you'd consider your personality, how you react when things get tough, how you handle, say, failing at something, how you even learn new things, it all grows directly out of that mindset. It
Exactly.
really helps explain, why some people who seem incredibly talented just plateau or struggle.
Hmm.
Because often what's stopping them isn't lack of talent, it's this underlying belief system getting in the way.
Hmm.
Like, think about getting feedback. If you've got that fixed mindset, hearing you need to work on X might feel like someone's attacking your core ability,
Mm.
right? So you might shut down or get defensive.
Yeah, totally.
But with a growth mindset, that same feedback sounds more like a map, directions for how to improve.
Yeah.
It sparks curiosity, not fear.
Precisely. And that's how it shapes just your everyday interactions, your learning moments, everything.
So what do we do with this? That's the big question, right?
Right. And the book really aims to show you how to take this understanding and actually apply it
Mhm.
practically. The idea is once you really get this mindset concept, you start to see why some people become, the legends in their fields, science, art, sports, business, whatever, while others kind of remain the could have beens or would have beens.
Mhm.
It's not just about the raw talent they started with. It's about how they approach the whole process. Learning, challenges, setbacks. People with a growth mindset, they tend to embrace challenges. They stick with things when they get difficult. They see effort as, well, the path to getting good at something. They
Mhm.
learn from criticism instead of hiding from it, and they actually get inspired by seeing other people succeed. That's the difference maker.
And that's where it gets really practical, I think,
Hmm.
because it's not just looking inward at yourself. Suddenly you start seeing these mindsets playing out everywhere
Yeah.
with everyone around you.
Yeah.
The author uses these really vivid examples, like stuff from the news, but also really personal stories, to show you what it looks like in action. You start understanding maybe why your partner reacts a certain way, or your boss's management style, or how your kids approach schoolwork.
Right. You see it through this new lens.
Exactly. And the book promises, concrete ways to use these lessons, how to spot the mindset guiding your life, understand its mechanics, and this is key how you can actually change it if you want to.
And it's interesting because the author didn't just stop there. The ideas kept evolving. In a later updated edition of the book, they added some really significant new material. For instance, there's a whole study now on what they call organizational
Oh,
mindsets.
interesting. So like for companies.
Exactly, how
Yeah.
a whole group, a whole company can have a kind of collective mindset. And that affects everything, innovation, how they handle risk, competition, developing their employees, you name it. Think about company culture, right? Some places feel fixed, they hire for stars, and maybe push out people who stumble.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Others have more of a growth vibe. They invest in training, see mistakes as learning chances, encourage people to try new things.
Makes sense.
That shared belief shapes the whole operation, from R&D down to HR. It just shows how far-reaching this mindset idea really is. It's not just personal psychology.
And there was something else added too, wasn't there? Something about a false version.
Yes, absolutely critical. A whole section on false growth mindset.
Hmm.
This came about because the author saw people were kind of picking up the term, the language, but maybe missing the deeper point or not applying it correctly.
Okay, so like paying lip service to it.
Kind of, yeah. It's a really important distinction because it shows it's not just about, being optimistic or saying the right things. A false growth mindset is when someone talks like they have a growth mindset. Oh, yeah, I love learning. But their actions tell a different story. Maybe they still avoid hard tasks or get really defensive about errors, or they quit easily when things get tough.
Yeah.
Underneath, the belief is still basically fixed. It's the difference between saying you're open to learning and actually embracing the struggle, the effort, the setbacks that come with real learning.
Okay, that's a crucial clarification then. You have to actually live it, not just say it.
Exactly. It's essential for actually getting the benefits.
Right. So let's try and wrap this up a bit. Pull together the main threads.
Okay, so the core takeaway, really, is just how incredibly powerful this seemingly simple belief, this mindset, as the author calls it, truly is. Your fundamental view on whether your abilities are fixed or can be grown. We've touched on how it shapes, well, almost everything. Your personality, hitting your potential.
Yeah, how you see other people too.
Right, understanding others, even how whole organizations function. And that important point about the false growth mindset, stressing that it needs genuine understanding and real application to actually work its magic in your life.
This has been really fascinating, a lot to think about there. So for you listening, we really encourage you to take a moment and reflect on these ideas. Just consider, how might your own deep-seated beliefs about your abilities be quietly steering your experiences, shaping your choices, maybe even defining your results? It's a perspective, a lens that could genuinely change how you look at yourself and the world around you. And for our final provocative thought today, something to mull over. What single belief about yourself might be silently shaping your entire world right now? And what could happen? What might change if you truly understood its power? Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really appreciate your curiosity and your time. We'll catch you on the next one.